DRMB.
You are listening to the Don't Revive Me Bro podcast. Now here's your host, Red Dragons.
Alright everybody, welcome to the Don't Revive Me podcast for this wonderful evening of Thursday, May 28th. We've got Paul Punisher here. We've got from the Department of Zero Fucks Given, AOA Bohica. And you've got yours truly, No Zoot for You. Tonight we're going to be covering a range of topics. We're feeling particularly nice, so we're probably going to answer some questions from you all out there. So feel free to just fire away about anything. We're going to talk about Battlefield 4. We're going to talk about Hardline, World Warships. You know, we might even throw in some pop culture in there. Mad Max came out. The movie rocks. You need to go see it. I'll get into that a little more later. So you can see us up here, and then we've got this lovely skull figure for Bohica, who...
Fuck off.
He's a little camera shy, so he is here,
yes,
believe it or not. So, all right, getting started. Battlefield 4's patch just came out. So, both of you have played it. I have not. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I streamed it, I guess, a couple nights ago, and there is some things I like about it. I was having some issues, though. I don't know. I still haven't quite figured out whether or not I'm going to blame it on me or blame it on the game, but some serious stuttering problems that I was seeing some GPU and CPU spikes, and I was losing, hell man, probably 70, 80 frames for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, every 15 to 30 seconds, and it was brutal. Absolutely brutal to play. But I mean, there's some things I like. I mean, the AN-94 is a freaking beast gun. It's every bit as sick as it was when I was playing at CT. I told a lot of people that I thought the AN-94 was going to be the gun of choice for a lot of people, and it's sticking true to it. Everybody loves it. So, I mean, overall, I guess I mean, there's really not anything crazy with the patch that sticks out to me that's bad or good, to be honest with you. I know that a lot of people are, hey, thank you Steelers for the follow, appreciate it. And I think a lot of people are overall happy with everything, at least on the PC side from what I've seen, judging from Reddit and the general Twitter response. I know the people that are generally hating Battlefield 4 and Hardline still have a lot of issues with it, and, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of mad about it, to be honest with you. I've kind of grown interest in Hardline and in World Warships, and Battlefield 4, I'll play it for a couple of rounds and go back to the other games. So, yeah,
I'm just like playing with myself here, figuratively, against the little window here, trying to fit myself in. You know, you brought up the AN-94, and to be honest, in Battlefield 3, I'm one of the individuals that thought it sucked. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. I know a lot of people out there did. I know a lot of people out here were screaming for it to come back, and probably some of those that thought it sucked as well. Yeah. Is it different than Battlefield 3? Is it better?
Yeah. It is a little different. First of all, as Bo will probably talk about here in a little bit, virtually no recoil. And I mean no recoil.
So just like every other gun in the game.
Yeah. You can drill people with headshots with this gun very easily. I know a lot of people complain about the sights of the AN-94, but once you get a RDS sight on it, or, you know, a sight that you're comfortable with, actually I like using the 3.4x scope with it. It seems to do really well in medium and long ranges. But the big difference that I've noticed compared to the Battlefield 3 AN-94 is that it is a true 600 round per minute gun. It is no longer 1200 round per minute if you burst it. That's one of the things that Tigger and Julian made a comment about with the AN-94 in the CTE, is that they made it a true 600 round gun, so you don't get the 1200 round burst advantage like you used to in Battlefield 3. And I don't remember the Battlefield 3 gun having full auto. I just remember burst and single fire.
Yeah, there was no full auto in it.
And in Battlefield 4, you have full auto mode also. So,
Bo Extremium says he wanted the G3A3.
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
So did I.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted that. I mean, but I don't find the latest patch to be all that remarkable. And that may be a little rough, but I'm a little tired of the weapon balance in the game in general. I mean, it's never gotten better. It seems like they've stripped recoil out of most of the weapons, but man, the AN-94, I mean, that thing's a laser right now, and it just, to me, the recoil model on it is just not really what it should be for that rifle. And people may disagree with me, but I don't know. I play Hardline, and the recoil model in it is so much different. And as a matter of fact, Zach was on the podcast several weeks back and even said, we're not going to shy away from putting recoil on these weapons.
Yeah.
And then you play Battlefield 4, and there's virtually no
you almost feel like a pro.
Well,
yeah,
going back to the G3A3, when I played Battlefield 3, it felt like just about all of the medium to long range rifles, you had to tap fire if you wanted to drop someone at range. Yeah. Battlefield 4, I started playing, and instantly, all you got to do is hold down the trigger. You know, even on full auto, you're still going to drop someone medium to long range, and it just from the very beginning to me felt off, because knowing what recoil should be, I
get it, right? Like, I get it's an arcade shooter, so I mean, I don't want to sound like one of these people that, you know, I want it to be Arma 3 or you know, just name another, you know, military sim. That's not really what I'm going for, but you know, I think Battlefield kind of has always been that game that is that sweet spot between the military sim and the arcade shooter, right? Like, it was kind of that midpoint. And Battlefield 4 lost that. I mean, it's just not there. You know, and I'm sure Tigger and those guys would disagree with me, and that's fine. I don't see the recoil models. I don't see the recoil models, especially on the LMGs. The DMR span, Zoop, you and I, you know, being prior military Army, I mean, like, I get you're not going to have that much recoil built in, but man, the DMRs have none. I mean,
no, none at all.
They're just spam weapons. And the amount of times that I see someone with a DMR in close quarters outclass a PDW is just nuts. Now, granted, the person with a PDW is probably terrible that gets outclassed that way, but you shouldn't be able to pop off that many rounds of the DMR in close quarters with any kind of accuracy.
No.
Those are the kind of things that frustrate me. I'm to the point with Battlefield 4 where I can play it for a little while, and then I just have to step away from it. Because sometimes it just gets to be a little too COD-ish, and I hate to say it like that, but it's just...
I was just going to bring that up, and I think what happened was, I really think DICE got so wrapped up in being the next COD killer that in the process, obviously the game is not Call of Duty, it's not close to it, but I think rather than following what they had traditionally been, to try and grab some of that crowd, they moved closer to what it was, which just doesn't feel right.
We were talking about this before we went live on the podcast. I mean, simple things like, you know, why did they take the AA away from Battlefield 3 at your spawn, your base spawn, and put it to this thing that now you got to spot the jet going by? And I mean, have you guys seen a single plane go down due to that base AA in this game?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, but you have to be
It's just
really
not
stupid.
as effective.
You have to be really stupid to have it.
It's just not as effective. And so, to me, Battlefield 4 is going to go in that catalog of games at EA that says, we really probably could have done a lot better. And I'm not trying to give those guys a hard time. I mean, we're over almost 2 years into this game.
Yep.
It is what it is at this point. I mean, I don't think it's going to be any more than what it is. You would like to think that they would have learned, but they didn't. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens going forward. I don't even want to get into the whole, would you buy another EA game or Battlefield game or whatever. I mean, those, to me, those conversations, they're not silly, but they're just not productive. I mean, it's just not a productive conversation to have. So,
no, agreed. So I guess
What about, did you see what Westy put out today? His video? And it was something that I commented on a couple days ago about having a separate gun profile for PC vice console. And the reason I think what Battlefield 4 has done, what the developers have done, is that they have tried to, because console players complain about having a hard time controlling recoil. And I can understand, you know, casual players. I mean, I'm sure the good players understand how to control recoil on console.
I was just about to say, I mean, I don't play that often, but it is not hard to control recoil on console.
Yeah. No, I know a lot complain that they say it does, and I think what the developers have done, they've tried to appease to that crowd that said that, hey, you know, it's harder for me to control recoil, so make it easier. Well, on PC, it is extremely easy to control recoil. Even for a casual player, they can get the general concept of doing it. And I think because of that, you really see a lot of people on PC complain that there's just not enough. It needs to be harder.
Right. See, I don't buy the whole it's harder on console thing, though, because
I don't either.
I played on console up until August of last year, and I would say I was an above average console player on these type of games. And to me, you tap fire, you don't lay down on the trigger. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean, it's not a. I mean, I'm not about to give DICE an excuse, but I mean, it's not easy, I'm sure, to balance a game of that scale.
No.
But at the same time, I mean, it's silly
even,
now. Like
it's even harder when you have 50 different weapons in there, which is why, like Hardline, you know, they limit it, and you know, people. I don't want to say they bitched in the beginning, but it was a deliberate move to limit the amount of weapons because I think Battlefield 4 got so ridiculous in the different. What's that one Russian weapon that they have 5 variants of the same damn thing? You know, it got to the point that there's basically no differentiation between the different weapons that you found in the rifle class in Battlefield 4. It was pointless. So
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in the category of people that hopes they take their time. If they're gonna, you know, well, they're gonna make another one, but they take their time. Just step back, reevaluate what went wrong, and just
go back.
On. I mean,
go back to what worked. Go back to look
like
to the past.
Like I said, it to me that game was always the sweet spot between Call of Duty. And I used to play Call of Duty a lot, and you know, the community there definitely was a turnoff playing games, and the other was it just didn't suit what I wanted to do anymore, and so Battlefield was kind of that next. Okay, it leaned a little more towards milsim maybe, but not not so arcade, but still arcade. I mean, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say, but
absolutely.
Kind of that. It's kind of that. To me, it was that midpoint, and I mean, especially being prior military, it kind of fit a little more of what I wanted to do. But yeah, I hope that it was just a 2-year-long learning experience for them.
Yeah, and I think it was. So let's not dwell on Battlefield 4 too long, so we'll move on to the next topic. First, though, I want to bring attention to the Operation Supply Drop. You probably saw Moobot in there mentioning it. Please, by all means, check out the website. If you feel like you have an extra couple dollars laying around in PayPal or something, by all means, donate. It helps people like Bo and myself that have deployed before. Helps our comrades out there. It goes to them, helps brings games to them, where you might not be able to get a hold of any of that easily. Also, just to let you know, we are giving away a couple keys tonight for World of Warships. We're going to get into that a little later on. A lot of people are interested in the game. We absolutely love it. We started playing it. So, moving on, Hardline. We just had a huge trailer come out with 4 new maps announced. I think there's a car with hydraulics. You know, you get the little, you get the little ghetto cruiser in there. I don't know what would you even call that?
It was a 6.4 Impala, man. That's what it was.
Yeah, you got your 6.4 Impala. So, what did you all think about what you saw?
I know a lot of people bashed it. I thought the trailer was okay. I mean, it was what it was. It wasn't really a trailer. It was more or less a map debut, and kind of pointed at a couple weapons like the frickin' Tommy gun.
Yeah, freaking Tommy gun. A lot of people wanted it. A lot of people wanted the whole 1920s theme.
Yeah.
I personally wanted Dirty Harry, 70s and 80s. I thought having cops with porn stashes would have looked cool. Hopefully they're still doing that in the offing at some point. But yeah, I'm not big on the Tommy gun because I think historically it wasn't even that accurate of a weapon, was it?
No, it's terrible unless you're up close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm reserved, of course, because, you don't really know what to expect until it actually comes out. But I'm giving them a shot. I know that Zach and Thad and, Tuna, all them guys have really worked hard to try to, at least meet more of the customers or the players' needs. I think there's going to be some nice stuff in the patch that we'll see that'll address netcode, those kind of things, and fix some of the bugs that people are complaining about, and then give us some freaking killer maps. So,
I think Steelers 279 in there has the right thought. Get some moonshine running type of stuff.
Yeah.
The Johnson County Sheriff car.
Yeah, no kidding.
What song was that? Copperhead Road.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My dad used.
They need to do some Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, my dad used to run moonshine back when he was a teenager.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But what did you think about the maps in there?
I mean, I kind of stay a little even kill on that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I don't get too high or too low. And map design is definitely going to make or break the map pack. So, I mean, from what I saw, it looked pretty good. But, it's how they pull it off in the execution. What, the Levolutions, that are in there or not in there. What, how are your frame rates going to work? I think I'm a little more excited that they're closer to CTE, or they've got CTE out on Hardline, and so maybe some of the rough edges from, the I hate to call it netcode, but the netcode, can get worked out. I mean, I like Hardline. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I like Hardline. I like the weapon models, and I mean, to me, I have fun with the game. Mm-hmm. So. It doesn't frustrate me nearly as bad as Battlefield 4 did it.
No, it doesn't. It runs a lot better for me than Battlefield 4 does.
I mean, it's not perfect, but again, Zach a few weeks ago, and I mean, you even see, Thad talking about it on Twitter. They know they've got some things that need to be worked on, but they're not shying away from that fact either. And to me, that means more. Even if it's never perfect, I don't know that there is a perfect game.
That's what I say. Name one game that's perfect. Even GTA 5 isn't freaking perfect.
Half-Life 1. Half-Life Original was perfect.
I'll tell you that Call of Duty 4 was probably about as perfect a shooter as I've played. But then Modern Warfare 2 dropped, and then you had the care package glitch, and it that had its flaws. So, I mean, I always think history's a little kinder to them than reality right now. I will tell you that I think,
what was it? Danger Close with frag rounds. That was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
You remember people running around with that?
I'm like everybody else. I loved Battlefield Bad Company 2. And whether that truly was this nostalgic place in the Battlefield lore, I think that's for everybody's own interpretation. Yeah. But I will tell you that specifically with Bad Company 2, what I enjoyed the most was the Vietnam packs.
I thought they did a fantastic job with that, man.
If they did a whole Vietnam genre Battlefield, I mean, I'm not going to shy away and say I would probably molest myself to it, because, I mean, that game was just for me. I mean, you listen to a little CCR and shoot Viet Cong in the face. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right?
Yeah. In the meantime, you got killer music playing in your Jeep and your Hilo.
So, did any of you all play like Ghost Recon back in the day?
That was the original first-person shooter I fell in love with, was Ghost Recon.
Same here.
Beautiful freaking game. If they were to remake Ghost Recon in a modern graphics engine, you would never see me play anything else, except for maybe Battlefront when it comes out, because it's freaking Star Wars. But
I used to take the soundtrack from Black Hawk Down because it was easy to move sound files and use as a background. I'd use that music back there, and I was in college at the time. I'd just play for hours on end. Yeah. If it wasn't a Thursday night, because if it was a Thursday night, I'd be out drinking.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you, the game that I love to play was Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Those
Rainbow
were always...
Six original. I played the original one. I love that game.
Now, unfortunately, and I'm not stoked for the new one. Like I'm not
either.
I'm not interested in the new one. But man, Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2. I used to love getting on and co-oping the terrorist hunts, even if I wasn't playing, PvP. The terrorist hunts on that, man, you could pass a lot of time playing that.
Yeah.
I was invited to the closed beta, alpha, whatever the hell it was, and honestly, I didn't download it. Watching people play it, and I think part of it's first-person shooter burnout on my part, because that's all I've been doing for the past several years, and which is probably why I'm enjoying World of Warship so much, but I just had no desire. But then again, going back to what we were talking about, Ghost Recon, if a game like those came out again and played as nicely as those did, I'd be down with that in a heartbeat. I mean, even Counter-Strike when it first came out, I mean, I'm honestly shocked at how big Counter-Strike has become right now, because I remember playing it when it was just a mod for Half-Life.
Yeah.
And me and my buddies in our fraternity had a blast. We'd, hook all our computers up, and, weeknights we'd just play it, and it was fun as hell. But it has evolved into something right now that is huge.
Let's back up a second. One of the best shooters I ever played, I played when I would go on deployments, and it was on the Nintendo 64, GoldenEye.
Oh yeah,
GoldenEye.
Holy
absolutely.
Crap. That was so much fun.
That's the granddaddy of them all, though. That started everything. I mean, really, every game we have right now that's multiplayer, first-person shooter probably owes it to GoldenEye right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I miss the fun I used to have with that game. That game's really good.
Well, I got into playing Ghost Recon, and then I got into playing Quake. And I was playing Arena, and I thought that was... For what it was a freaking killer game, man. And that was a great that Quake Arena, Quake 3 Arena, and then what was the one that came out?
Unreal Tournament?
No. It was the Quake.
No.
It was another Quake game. It came out back in probably about the time that Call of Duty 4 and Battlefield 2 and all that came out. I can't remember what it was called. It was huge though.
Anyone out there help us out?
Face. Thank you for the follow, man. But anyway, so I thought the Quake games were good, and I think that really kicked off a lot of the PC first-person shooter genre too.
Well, they're making a new Doom game right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying to remake, I guess, the original. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I'm not quite positive. Supposedly, we'll see the trailer here during E3. So
I would imagine the I guess success that the new Wolfenstein games have probably played into that. They've probably seen that those have done good and figure that they can cash in too. I didn't play the new Wolfenstein games. I wish I had picked it up when it was cheap on Steam. I mean, I remember playing the original one. And then what was the other one that came out probably about 10 years ago?
Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah. Yeah, and the graphics were like cutting edge for the time period. I enjoyed. Yeah, it was right around 2001, 2002. I enjoyed that game a lot. That was a great game. So I want to say they always do a good job with Wolfenstein games. I don't think there's been a bad one yet.
Well, in Steelers, I see your question about playing Insurgency. I've played Insurgency. It is a very good game. It's highly underrated. I don't get enough time to game, unfortunately, but man, that is definitely one that if nobody's played, it's completely worth a pickup on Steam. It's more of what we're talking about. It's a little more hardcore. I don't know if you two guys have played it, but it's
isn't it
a little
based
more
off
hardcore.
Isn't it a version of Arma or a mod of Arma or something like that?
I don't think so. No, it's its own deal, and the recoil models are in that one.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I have all these games that I want to play, and I freaking barely have time for the two that I'm even playing now. So.
Well, and Arma's just amazing. I like Arma's great.
Well, now that we've kind of gone down memory lane, nostalgia, let's go back even further and just kind of take a trip back to the early '90s and everything. What is the first game you all remember playing a significant amount? It's probably going to be Nintendo or something, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
you're going to love my answer.
I started out playing on the Atari 2600 was my first console. I mean, I had 100 games on the Atari. But I think I really don't. I look at that and I say, yeah, okay, that's when I really started gaming. But I look back at when my first multiplayer experience was, and that was probably in '97, I think, when X-Wing came out. I was playing X-Wing, and I was playing, the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, and then I got into NASCAR. And for some reason, I had a buddy of mine that worked.
He's turning left.
Yeah,
he's turning left.
I had a buddy of mine that was at work. Yeah, I used to be a big NASCAR guy. I grew up. My dad was religious about it. I mean, on Sundays we were at home, listening to the race, or watching the race on TV, or if we were in the truck, we were listening to the race on the AM radio. But
dude, you guys rock out there. You're putting some solid games up there right
yes,
now. Red Alert, Metal Gear, the original Top Gun for NES.
That one's what caught me.
Oh my god. I played the hell out of that game. Actually, my cousin had it.
Yes. So for me, it was there were two games I spent quite a bit of time with, and much like Pun, I mean, when I was a little kid, I had an Atari and kind of went from there. But one was on the NES. I remember playing Golgo 13, and that was a really good game. And it's a game I wish they would make a remake of. And then. But the one I can remember spending a lot of time playing, versus other people. Of course, I grew up in the Michael Jordan era, the Bulls versus Lakers in the NBA playoffs on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And it was always about, can you make him do whatever he did in the game last night? You were trying to get Michael Jordan to do.
Yeah. There's so many games back then that I loved. I had a Commodore 64. I played the hell out of Red Storm Rising, it was a submarine simulator, and being 11 or 12, it's kind of a dorky game for me to play, I guess. But you talk about Sega, Kid Chameleon, Toe Jam and Earl, of course Sonic the Hedgehog. Super Nintendo came out. And I think at the time, Super Mario World was probably one of the best games I ever played. I was addicted to that like crack. I mean,
see that Joe Montana football there, Heath? Yeah. Definitely played a ton of Joe Montana football.
Yep. Sports Talk, what was it? Sports Talk baseball and all those games. You remember on Sega when you finally had commentating? That was like, holy crap! The game is actually talking.
Yeah.
And man, on Sega, when the first NCAA football came out and you could actually run a legit option offense, that was like the coolest thing I'd seen in a football game.
I remember the first Madden on the Super NES. I had that freaking killer.
When they used to drive the ambulance out on the field if you broke your leg and everything.
Yeah.
And then coming to after that, PS and PlayStation after that.
PlayStation me was Bushido Blade and
Twisted Metal all the way.
I was into fighters, so the Super Street Fighter stuff was really good for me. Loved it. What's the game? What was the fighting game on PlayStation? I can't even think of the name of it now.
Was it the original one that came out like right when the game released?
Yeah, it was huge. It was what?
Yeah, that chick with like the chain that she'd whip out and everything.
Yeah.
Anyone out there know it?
I cannot think of the name of the game.
First one to bring up that game, no, it wasn't Virtual Fighter. First one to name it gets a World of Warships code. How about we do that? And we'll know it when we see the name.
Yeah, I'll know the name when I see it. Tekken.
No, it wasn't.
Tekken's the one I'm talking about.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. It's Tekken. Played the crap out of Tekken.
Give him a code then.
Well, I think Baz already has a code.
Oh, does he?
If I'm not mistaken.
Right. Baz, do you already have a code? Hang on, I'll check the spreadsheet. See? Tracking you like the NSA.
Bohica Claus. He's checking his list.
Soul Blade was good too.
Soul Blade, that's the one.
Yeah, Soul Blade was good too, but the one I was talking about was Tekken because, man, freaking me and my cousin used to play the crap out of that game.
Nah, for me, it was
Shogun doesn't get a code though.
No,
he's got one.
Twisted Metal, the second Twisted Metal, and then obviously, you know, we're forgetting the. Did it come out for? Yeah, Tomb Raider came out for PlayStation original. Tomb Raider, I was in that game like none other. I mean, honestly, I think Tomb Raider is probably one of the best games that has ever been created. It was perfection at the time. Plus, it had polygonal boobs.
Baz, are you sure? Because you're not on my spreadsheet.
Yeah, we can give you a key if you want it, man. Well, he's saying to give it to somebody else, but I mean, we don't want to keep you from it if you want it.
We'll hold it if that's the case. I'm sure there's other people that might want it, but it's on you. No, seriously though, Tomb Raider, I love
Dreamer,
that game.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
there
dude,
you go.
I got into
Those
that.
Were good.
Huge with PS2, man. I was playing the crap out of some freaking Pro Skater, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older Tom Clancy games. Yeah, we were talking about that. Ghost Recon, and I mean those games are great.
Yeah.
And then I guess moving from PlayStation 2 is kind of a blur for me. I really don't remember any games for that. Metal Gear Solid was PlayStation 1, I think.
I spent a lot of time on the PS2 playing Battlefront and a lot of the sports games. So
yeah, I was playing sports games that you couldn't get on PC because that was the time when Battlefield and Call of Duty 4 was out, man. So I was freaking playing the crap out of COD 4 and Battlefield 2. You know.
I think I hit college shortly after PlayStation 2 came out. So that actually. No, PlayStation 2, SSX Tricky.
Oh, yeah,
that was a good game.
Cool
that was a good game.
Snowboard.
That game rocked. I think all of my friends had a crush on Elise. I'm just gonna say it. She was hot for a computer generated person, but no, that game. I was in college at the time, and all my in my fraternity, we're all addicted to that game. We try and break 1 million on this one board. That game rocked. That game was awesome. And that's all I remember from PlayStation. Then I think Xbox came out about that time also, and Halo was the big thing.
I don't remember Conflict.
Then, you know, I'm kind of glossing over PC, because PC right around that time had some of the best games I'd ever played right in the late 90s, like Half-Life and, you know, even the original Sims, I was addicted to that. Homeworld. And then someone brought up Red Alert earlier. I think Command & Conquer was probably my favorite game ever. Yeah. Actually, the first multiplayer game that I played a lot was Command & Conquer Soul Survivor. That was the first clan I was ever in. Does anyone remember that?
Hang on one second. Hey, Baz, your code should be in your inbox on Twitch, bud.
Soul Survivor was like Command & Conquer, but basically you got to pick one vehicle from the game, and you were just racing around a map killing other people with it. So didn't do that great, but aside from that, Wing Commander.
I remember when my son was getting into playing video games, and he was probably about 6 years old when the 64 came out, and I had the South Park game on 64, and so
that one back in the.
Yeah, and so I remember coming home and him trying to sound all Eric Cartman in the house, and we had to have that discussion. Like, no, son, you can't do that.
Probably not a good idea to let mom.
Yeah, mommy's not going to let either of us play that or watch it. Speaking of South Park, honestly, I've come to a point where I got to be careful in what I play, because with Battlefield, I get to a point where I almost treat it like business. I really can't enjoy it because I'm trying to constantly rank up and everything, but for pure joy, South Park Stick of Truth is probably the funnest game I've played in a long time.
I need to pick that up.
Because I think it's $40 on Steam right now. I picked it up for like $3 when they had their Christmas sale, and for anything under $10, even under $20, it's completely worth it. It is. You have not played a PC game until you have given an abortion to Randy Marsh in an alien spaceship.
Nice.
That sums up the game for you right there. And the best part about it is there's a Canada portion of the game where you go to Canada and the whole game looks like you're watching the TV show. And then all of a sudden you get to Canada and it turns down to it goes to this overhead 8-bit Nintendo system view, and the music's all 8-bit and everything, playing "Oh Canada" in the background. I mean, it's just hilarious. If any of you out there are South Park fans in the least and you haven't played Stick of Truth yet, you're missing out completely. It is awesome. So
sweet.
All right.
I'm so streamlined with my games. I mean, I'm pretty much. It's got to shoot something for me to really be into it. I don't know why. I just.
Yeah,
Steelers. You mean the anal probe sword, or you mean the dildo sword? Which one? Sorry. Hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
Hilarious. All right, so anyhow, moving on, I know we brought up World of Warships a couple times. That seems to be what we're playing a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
You all still enjoying it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still... Damn,
Love
this cat is driving me crazy.
Screen cat.
Yeah, screen cat.
You should shave your cat on cam, dude. I hear that gets all the views.
Shave my pussy on screen. My wife would kill me if she came back and this cat had no hair. So anyhow, World of Warships, I'm absolutely enjoying the game. I feel relaxed when I play it.
I love it, man. Freaking kidding
It's probably the first game I've played in quite some time where you can just chill out and just have a good time.
Yep.
And I don't get too caught up in any of the stats on the game. I mean, visually the game to me is stunning. But man, they really. I've played World of Tanks. I've played World of Warplanes or whatever, and none of those to me appealed to me the way World of Warships does. That game is just spectacular to me.
Mm-hmm. I am locked into the grind, man.
Well,
I'm looking at my ships. Okay, how much XP do I need to get unlock this next ship? And it has caught me, and I am hooked.
A Navy veteran likes World of Warships.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I mean, hook, line, and sinker, man. I'm 100% head first, right into it. I didn't think I would be, but
I'm in for the grind, but only for certain ship classes. And I think the reason why is because I know that wipe's coming at some point. So I haven't touched I really haven't touched the Japanese lines at all, except for maybe some of the battleships. And it's just because I don't want to get to a point where I've burned myself out on the game, they wipe everything, and I just have no will to start over. So
right. I mean, and that's kind of the way I've been. I play it casually enough to stay interested and all, but knowing that they're going to wipe everything, and I don't want to put too much time into it right now.
Favorite ship? Steven wants to know what your favorite ship is. I know what Zoots is right now.
Well, I just unlocked the North Carolina. I got one round in it with it before this podcast, and so far I'm liking it. Honestly, though, as far as a favorite ship is concerned, I would have to say probably the Sims, which was the pre-order ship. And I wouldn't say that it's any better than any of the destroyers in its tier class, and they purposely did that. If you listen to Chris Keeling's podcast, they purposely made the pre-order ships kind of middle of the run for their tier. But I think destroyers in general are just fun because they're fast, they're quick. You might not last the whole game with them, but when you launch a full spread of torpedoes and you watch them all hit home, there is no better feeling in the game than that. Not in battleships, not in cruisers, not in aircraft carriers. Nope. Just destroyers. Those torpedoes are just awesome.
And the sound's cool.
Yeah, that too.
It's got a
yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. The Sims is pretty versatile. I mean, they've balanced the ships pretty well. I mean, if it's really good at one thing, it's probably not as good as another. I actually like playing with the cruisers, man. If you can kind of jab and move, those can be a lot of fun too.
Dr. Jam, do you have a PC? I'm thinking he's the first one in there to mention his urge to play World of Warships. I was going to say we might be able to help him out if that's the case.
Yep.
Go ahead and answer in down there, Dr. Jam, Dr. Space Jam.
Dreamer.
He says yes.
Wait, yes you have it, or yes you need it. That's kind of a unknown answer right there.
Well, in the meantime, my favorite.
Yeah, in the meantime, go for it.
Is the Minekaze or the walkie-talkie?
Oh, the
walkie-talkie.
Minotaki. You and your IJN destroyers.
Man.
The disparity between. Oh, he needs a key. All right, we'll hook him up. Today's your lucky day. Is he following us right now?
Yeah.
That might seal the deal right now.
Yeah, if you're following us, we'll give you a key. You have
hint.
Yeah, hint.
No, that is the biggest grief I have in the game right now is the disparity between the Japanese and U.S. destroyers, because you playing those destroyers can fire like 11 kilometers out without even being seen. And U.S. destroyers, you gotta plan your route. You gotta sneak in, and then you're seen, and you literally have like 2 seconds to fire them off.
Steelers, you don't have a key either?
Steelers, you don't? We'll hook you up.
I think he was one of the
Steelers.
ones that was here the last time that was trying to get one. He didn't get one.
Yeah, give Steelers a key too.
Heath's saying he has a OSD guy that wants one.
Is he in the stream?
He needs to be in the stream, man.
Get him in the stream, Heath.
Dreamer, check your messages on Twitch, bud.
Hey, we try to be the best. We try.
Yeah.
See, this is what happened when Red Dragons is in here and we take over.
Right.
Good,
we just start
things,
handing out everything.
Yeah, good things happen. Before long, you're going to be on here streaming, and well, he'd probably kill us if we did that. So, yeah, but anyhow, World of Warships. I think it's safe to say we all love it. Bo, do you have a favorite?
Oh, I'm with you on the Sims. I mean, I like the Sims. But honestly, I mean, I don't really have a favorite because I haven't grinded it out yet. But, I mean, like I said, I really like, bobbing and weaving with the cruisers. I think they're a little underrated if you play them right.
Yep. I like YOLOing with the freaking destroyers, man. Just go in there and go balls at it. I love it.
No, I agree. Totally. So, World of Warships is a great game.
They're coming out with a patch tomorrow.
Are they?
Did you know that?
Oh, we don't know what it is, though. It's like 3.1.2.
They posted the patch notes on Reddit.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bug fixes. There's nothing really added there. They're nerfing the battleship, I think. They're slowing the speed down while they're flooding.
Oh, they think they flood too fast?
Yeah, well, they know this actual ship speed. They're going to slow the ship speed down so that it doesn't go as fast while they're in the middle of flooding.
Hey,
Okay,
Steelers,
gotcha.
you should have your code in your inbox. And Extremium, the World of Warships beta is for EU, US, and Russia, right?
Yeah,
I thought
but
it
we
was
didn't.
North America and EU.
Yeah, it's North America, EU. Those are the codes they gave us. And then Russia, I think, is in his own little territory because they got like millions of people that play it. And
and so
see them.
those codes, guys, you put them on the World of Warships website. You don't go to Steam, so.
The best way to pay us back for giving you that code is just spread the word. It's like Christmas every week here. We do what we can for you all. We get these codes,
try.
we give them.
Yep.
Yeah, we try.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say next Saturday we're doing the long 8-bit salute
Exactly.
stream for next Saturday. So we'll be streaming pretty much all day Saturday.
That's the other way you can repay us. Go check out Operation Supply Drop. Help our soldiers out overseas. And if you're not American, if you're Canadian, if you're one of those people from Canada, it supports them too. It's all NATO coalition forces. So, boost their morale for us.
We don't ask anything for ourselves, guys. So
No, not at all. Not at all. It's all for them. That's why we do this, to help them out. So, all right, moving on to a little pop culture out there. Has anyone? Have you two seen Mad Max yet?
no.
No,
Oh my God! You have got
Look.
to see it. Did you see the original?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably saw it in the movie theaters, right?
The original,
Yeah, I was younger.
dude. I didn't even see it in the movie theaters. I saw it on HBO. I think.
Yeah, it's
Right.
only like I think it only came out in Australia or something. Anyhow, this is probably the best movie I've seen in a long time. It's just this damn cat is just humping my hand. All right, you got to go. Got a little sidetrack there.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
please-
Is that
please-
a cat
please
you're
do.
playing with?
Yeah,
Are you
it's,
sure?
it's my wife's Elgato.
I need to go to Twitter and let the whole world know that you're playing with your cat on stream.
I am. See him? I call him El Gato Negro, and he's just I don't know, annoying. Anyhow, yeah, it's probably the best movie I've seen in a long time. It's just absolute fun. So if any of you all out there want to see a movie, drag your wife or significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend along, take him to see Mad Max. That movie is an absolute blast.
So, let me ask this. So, what music are you guys listening to lately? Like, what
And-
song have you had on repeat the most lately?
I've got my songs from the '90s that I love, and anytime I travel somewhere, I find myself going back to them. Are you talking like new stuff that's out?
Yeah, new stuff. We can talk 90s if you want to. I mean, I can do that all day.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. I'd say new stuff. What's that one Big Data song's pretty cool. You know the one I'm talking about. That you didn't know were dangerous.
I am so disengaged with pop music right
Paul,
now.
you pop.
Probably
pop.
Well,
I don't
top
know,
40,
pop.
whatever, even
I
new
don't think
rock
this-
stuff. I'm
this is
just
just
totally
rock.
disconnected.
Yeah, probably my favorite out right now is the Zac Brown Band with Chris Cornell, "Heavy as the Head." That is probably,
I need to listen to
my
that.
favorite. That is a great song. I mean, dude, it's Chris Cornell. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I haven't
one of
even
your
listened to it yet.
classic '90s frontmen right there. But yeah, I mean that song's really good, and I've really been digging the latest Slash album with, especially with the Miles Kennedy, Bent to Fly, stuff like that. Him and Miles Kennedy are really good together.
Unterslash. Did you see
I've
that
had
album?
this kick for live music, so I've been going back and looking at live recordings of bands that I grew up with, and I have been intrigued here lately, and I don't know why, but God, I've been listening to the crap out of some Led Zeppelin, man.
Oh well, that's never a bad thing.
No.
I would play
Any-
stuff on my playlist right now, but that would keep this video from going on YouTube.
Yeah.
But just some of the things I've been listening to the past couple days. Let's see. Pulp. I've got a real eclectic list of stuff. Like I've got some Pulp, 9 Inch Nails, Metallica for Who the Bell Tolls. Let's see. Cowboy Mouth, Jenny Says. I've been playing that a lot. Offspring, You're Gonna Go Far. For some reason, I was playing that over the weekend. Just basically a bunch of '90s crap. I find myself going back to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a rock list on Spotify right now. One of my rock playlists is 294 songs and 20 hours long.
No, you need to add. I need to add you so I can see your playlist.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's got Sponge Plowed on there, Social Distortion,
Oh my God, social distortion.
Screaming
I would-
Trees.
Man, I told you I was wrong. Was one of like the best driving songs of all time. One of my best friends had like a '78 white Impala, and he put speakers in the back. We just jump in the vehicle in high school, and that music.
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
wrong.
come
It
on.
was just blasting.
I mean, if you want to talk '90s, Radiohead's "Creep."
Oh yeah, the unedited,
I mean-
the unedited version.
Or the Pixies, or I mean, we can do this all day, dude. Like, it's crazy. I think one of the most underrated. You talk about music and what's underrated, but one of the most chill songs from the '90s was on, actually, of all things, the Cable Guy soundtrack. And Primitive Radio Gods, standing outside a phone booth with money in my pocket or money in my hand. That's such a great song. And dude, when it comes on, it's just like, man, all I want to do is chill out.
So, funny story with that song. This was back when at the local mall, what was that one music store called?
FYE, Blockbuster Music.
It was the one before FYE. It turned into FYE. Well, I don't remember it. Anyhow, my friend was listening to that song, and the words are "I've been downhearted, baby," but he didn't understand the words clearly, so he's in this music store with headphones on, and he's just singing at the top of his lungs, "I've been down Harlem, baby." And,
oh Lord!
Yeah.
Good Lord!
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah, but that song that brought back that memory. That was like ages ago.
Yeah,
that's a good song though.
I mean, I try to keep up with stuff. I listen to way more like rock style music than I do, whether it's rock or metal or whatever, than I do anything else. But I mean, I'll listen to rap or pop. I can't do country music. I grew up in Alabama. I had enough of that country music shit growing up. I can't do it.
Here's the thing. I love country, but not country today. I love like late 80s, 90s, and at the end of the 90s, I think it died completely. After that, country today is not country, so I don't even listen to it anymore. And yeah, but out of people playing songs today, I'd say I like the Black Keys.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. I enjoy listening to them when they come on.
Temperance movement.
I really couldn't tell you what they play, to be honest. I'm really out of step with the times. I mean, I liked Mumford and Sons for a little while, and then I got tired of them.
So here you go, chat. What you need to do is find Zoop on Twitter and bomb the shit out of him with music choices, like recent music choices.
I will say there is a couple bands that's today that I actually appreciate their music. I don't necessarily say I listen to them a lot, but I like Imagine Dragons. I think they're pretty cool. They're different, and for some reason, I like. Oh damn! I can't even think what his name is. The guy that played Super Bowl last year.
U2?
No.
Aerosmith?
No. He's a pop guy.
Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars.
Yeah, Bruno Mars is good.
Because I love funk music back in the 70s. And so he's kind of bringing that style of music back and kind of traditional R&B, and I love it.
I'm going to be honest. My biggest pet peeve with music right now, if I hear another song with like rhythmic chanting or like, I'm going to lose my mind. Like what's that one band that Pompeii, that one song that they play for everything now? I'm sick of those type of songs. I can't do it anymore.
But to be
I
honest
could
with
just
you,
see Pun in the 70s with a fro and bell bottoms, boogieing it up.
I need to pull out some pictures from when I graduated, because I had a freaking mop on my head then.
He did wear bell bottoms back in the day, didn't you? But they're blue jeans,
well,
right?
No, back then it was tough skins. Because I was like 5.
In the Navy?
No. In the Navy, yeah.
I'm talking about the Navy, the
bell
bottoms.
Oh, yeah, man. I
Bell
had them
ringers
all.
in the Navy.
And then we switched to the utility uniform, which is just a straight Dickies blue pants. And then all the girls were going to the thrift store and buying all the dungaree pants that we got rid of and playing them and wearing them in bell bottoms in the late 90s when it was in style in high school.
But they looked better in them than you did. Though.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Some of them filled it up quite well. But anyway, I digress. To be honest, though, my genre now when I'm listening to music is contemporary Christian. So, I mean, I'm like Skillet, 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Creed?
No, Creed's not. No.
Collective Soul?
That was a 90s band that I listened to the crap out of Collective Soul. Part 2, man. Best freaking song.
They tricked the hell out of me because I didn't know they were a Christian band when I first started listening. I mean, I still listen to them, but no, they were great, and I heard them live too when they came to Oklahoma State one year. But they had some great songs.
I don't really consider them Christian. I just think they kind of stayed away from being negative in their music. I mean, they didn't really talk about, Jesus or anything in it. They just kind of stayed positive, I guess. The Rowland brothers, their dad was a preacher, and Much like, I guess, the lead singer of Creed's dad. I think he was a preacher, too, at some point. But anyway.
Chat has devolved into talking about how old people are.
Yeah,
well,
I'm 34, Heath. I just turned 34 yesterday. It was my birthday. So to counter your Christian music, for some reason, a song I've been listening to a lot lately is Monster Magnet, Space Lord. So that's a great song. That pumps me up for some reason.
Yeah. And I have that on my playlist.
Yeah, great song.
So that's I'm really into Skillet. I think they're good. 1,000 Foot Crutch is God, they're freaking good, man.
What is emo Nirvana? They weren't emo. They were grunge. You all remember when that new Nirvana song came out?
Oh my God! I need
2001.
Nirvana. If Nirvana's emo, I got a whole bottle of Jim Beam I need to drink right now.
Yeah, same here.
I do not like Nirvana. I have never liked Nirvana. When they said that Nirvana was the #1 band of all time, I thought I was going to shoot myself. I could not fucking believe it.
They were good, man.
They had good people.
They are the reason. They're responsible for music for the past 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Dave Grohl. I'm just gonna drop the mic. No.
They have good people, but what they put out collectively, I thought was garbage compared to other bands. Compare them to Pearl Jam or Soundgarden or Alice in Chains.
They're the same.
No comparison.
They're the same. Alice in Chains is great though.
Alice in Chains. Jerry Cantrell could freaking piss in a daggone glass, and I think I'd drink it.
Speaking of Foo Fighters.
So we learned something about pun tonight, kid.
Yeah, he hates Nirvana.
Oh, dude, I was
with a passion.
And I love Jerry Cantrell. That freaking guy's genius. Not saying that David Grohl isn't. David Grohl's genius too. Don't get me wrong.
One of the greatest acoustic covers of all time has got to be Times Like These. The acoustic version, I absolutely love that song.
Man, it's not even about that. I mean, yes, you got the Foo Fighters, and then you look at Queens of the Stone Age, and he played some tracks for Queens of the Stone Age, and then you go look, what is it, or whatever the other band was he had that was really good. I mean, dude, Dave Grohl is just one of those guys who's just a talent. He's doing what he's meant to do.
We're talking about Chris Cornell earlier. Remember when he teamed up for what was it, Audio Slave? Yeah, man. Smashing Pumpkins and him together. I mean, that was like the marriage of all time.
Oh, I love me some Smashing Pumpkins. Don't even get me going down that. Oh, I love Smashing Pumpkins, man. Freaking Billy Corben's freaking brilliant.
Smash it. And Darcy. I mean, who didn't have a crush on her back in the day? I mean, you didn't.
I was into the Cranberries girl.
Veruca Salt.
Veruca Salt. What was that? Not Veruca Salt. What was that other band with the female singer? They played that one.
That just narrowed it down.
I know. Narrowed it down to about 100 different bands. You've got Gwen Stefani and everyone. I'm going to look this up.
About artificial.
I'm only happy when it rains, right? And who you're talking about?
No,
Garbage.
I'm not thinking of. No, I'm not thinking of Garbage. I'll tell you here in a second. Google's a wonderful thing. Give me 1 second here. Go ahead. Keep talking about awesome songs.
Thank you.
Elastica.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, they kind of had the kind of a club.
Well, I'm not talking about the singer. I'm just the song. Connection. It was a pretty cool song, just because of the beat and everything.
Dude, I love the random bot talk that comes at me on Twitter. It's spectacular.
Right now, there's crap going on.
No, it's just bots doing things.
No hole.
No.
That was a good one.
Courtney,
come on.
I honestly, I could not stand Courtney Love.
No,
not a Primus, Winona's Big Brown Beaver. Tales from
junk.
Tales from the Punch Bowl was a great CD. I listened to the shit out of that.
Since I'm on my bandwagon about music that I couldn't stand. Presidents of the United States of America.
See, and I'm okay with that.
Garbage. Lump was okay.
I'm okay with Silverchair. Toadies.
Silverchair had a comeback too. They had some really good songs. Space Hog.
Space Hog. There you go.
Toadies was crazy though because they had that whole
Surfers.
Oh, Pepper, great
Pepper's
song.
a good one.
Pepper is an amazing song.
I love.
It
Oasis.
was even better when you could stand in front of your parents and they say, "What are you listening to? Butthole Surfers." That always got you funny looks.
I was into. I liked Oasis a lot. That was a real big band on my. When was that? I guess it was the '96 deployment. I think they were real big when I was overseas.
Yeah, I was playing high school football about that time. Don't Look Back in Anger was probably one of my favorite songs.
The most
LA
underrated
Guns.
band of that time, though, in my opinion, that 95 to 97 range, better than Ezra.
Better than
Yes.
Ezra freaking
What
was great.
What a great band.
And Toad West Brock.
In the Blood, good.
King of New Orleans. I mean,
Desperately Wanting is probably one of my favorites of all time. That's
Desperately
on my
Wanting
top
is a great song.
20 list of songs.
Yeah.
Now, Heath, I grew up on Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica's the reason I started playing guitar. Them and Guns N' Roses.
Beltovers.
And you saw the tweet I had the other day. You look on Spotify and Enter Sandman has more plays than one by Metallica, and I'm just like, are you kidding me?
That's where they lost me, man. They were starting to lose me with Injustice for All, but the Black Album, they lost me. And that might be part of the fact that's when I went to boot camp. When they debuted that album, I was in boot camp, so I didn't get to hear it until after I got out, and it had already been out for a couple months. But God, man, I was disappointed.
I'm going to tell you, one of the reasons I like the movie Zombieland so much is just because of that intro with For Whom the Bell Tolls. That was just perfect. I mean,
one of the best
me
freaking intros ever.
Yeah.
Love
Zombieland itself is a great movie.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get my wife to watch it the other night. She'll watch Walking Dead. She loves Walking Dead. But I tried to get her to watch Zombieland, and she's not into it. I'm like,
you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
I know. Best freaking cameo of all time was in that movie with Bill Murray.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly can't think of a cameo better than that one. I mean, Bill fucking Murray.
Yes, and I'm really hoping they do a sequel to that.
I hope so. They really need
The
to.
Zombie Kill of the Week. That was always the best.
Yeah. Cardio.
Pantera. Hey, I liked Pantera back in the mid-90s. I thought they were good. Testament, I grew up. I listened to Testament back in the 80s. I was kind of in a weird thing in the 80s, late 80s. I was into Metallica. Guys started listening to Slayer. I was kind of listening to that. I kind of got out of it once I got in the Navy because I realized how retarded it was. But, I mean, that's just me. I still love Metallica, though. Freaking Metallica, you'll never go wrong. As long as it's pre-Black Album. That's
Blue Album. Blue Album was great. Weezer.
Oh, I never listened
That's
to Weezer.
about the only Weezer album I can listen to. The stuff after that.
Same here. It was the only one I did, too. But every single one of those songs I love. Like, My Name is Jonas is... I still think that's their best song, and I don't think I've heard it once on, like, regular radio.
I know you're going to agree with me on this, Zoop. The chat may not. But pound for pound in the 90s, for the amount of singles that came off one album, 16 Stone by Bush might be the most complete album of the 90s.
That was... Well, actually, no, I'm going to put you even one better. And, God, now I can't even think of the damn name of the group.
I'll give you one. The only other one that I can think of that matches 16 Stone would be Green Day Dookie. I could listen to that whole entire, and I'm going to say tape because that's what we listened to back then. But I would fall asleep to that tape. I'd fall asleep to it, and there'd be that silent part, and then the secret song, at the very end would come on and wake me up. But Dookie and 16 Stone were probably. I wore both of those tapes out completely.
The only other album I think that could have been that way, it just didn't get a lot of play. Again, the chat's probably going to disagree with me, and that's okay. For just those days you want to hang out around the house and chill, if you put on the only one I can listen to, the very first Matchbox 20 album, from start to finish, there's not a bad song on that album.
I'm going to put you on this one, And I thought this album was even better than Bush was live.
Yeah, Throwing Copper.
Throwing freaking Copper was the best freaking album. And God,
Throwing Copper was good. Lightning Crashes.
I'm gonna have to dissent, man, because none of them had more singles than 16 Stone.
Yeah. That's true.
I was just never big into Bush. I went and saw them live, and they sounded freaking garbage live.
I saw them live, and I thought they were one of the best live sounding bands I've ever heard.
They sounded.
Oh my God!
It must have been a bad night, man. Cause
either that or a bad venue.
Yeah. It was an amphitheater. It was nice out. I
saw them and Veruca Salt in Pensacola on the Razorblade Suitcase tour.
I'll tell you another CD that had great from beginning to end. Well, basically just about any Chili Peppers CD from the 2000s. Yeah. I mean, including Californication. I went to, for those of you...
The Bridge is still their best song.
Oh, absolutely. If any of you all are from the D.C. area, the 99 HF Festival in 99 when I graduated high school, I saw Offspring, I saw Live, I saw Goo Goo Dolls, I saw Chili Peppers, they closed, Moby was there. I mean, basically every single big band from the late 90s was there. It was probably the best concert I've ever been to. And so that live was just amazing.
We got a World of Warships question. Want to know were new ships being added? I haven't heard anything.
There's rumors.
The Bismarck.
So here's the deal with that. I am sure that there will be. I think Chris Keeling said that much as well when he was on a couple weeks ago. The problem is that each one of those ships takes about 3 to 6 months to create. So they're going to keep feeding the ships as they produce them, and I wouldn't be surprised when the game goes gold if there were a lot more British ships. And I wouldn't doubt that there's going to be Bismarck, Admiral Graf Spee, Admiral Scheer. All those German pocket battleships.
It's a trap.
Yeah. There's rumor that the Briscoe that they're putting a Briscoe in here soon.
Admiral Akbar. I caught that.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
What ships am I hyped for? Well, I'm happy I just unlocked the North Carolina because I've actually been on the North Carolina. I toured it before, and it's a cool ship. Bismarck would be cool. Honestly, I'd love to see some destroyer escorts get in the game, like the Sammy B, the USS Samuel B. Roberts. I doubt they will, just because they're so small, but that'd be cool if they did.
This flew over the USS North Carolina. This was my retirement flag that flew over each ship that I served on, or each city that the ship represented. So this was Chicago, Scranton, Philadelphia, and then Boise, and then my home state of North Carolina. So this was actually flown on the battleship.
Nice.
So,
yeah, the 50 ships.
I'd like to see them do a little submarine action on World of Warships, honestly.
It's not going to happen.
Said they ain't doing it.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be too hard. As far as 50 ship battles, though, I would like to see them. They can be long if they do that. I like to see it. Honestly, I'd like to see like historical battles where they, like Taffy 3 and the Battle off Samar. I'd love you to be able to jump into a match where you've got 10 destroyers going up a bunch of like Japanese not destroyers, but like cruisers and battleships, just to see what the hell would happen. I think that'd be pretty cool. Whether they do that,
I'd like to see a Pearl Harbor map.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor would be killer, or even freaking Wake Island, man.
Yeah, I think one of the things they're eventually going to need to do is give people the ability to host their own rooms where they can like set up how the ship layouts are, the types of battle, how many ships are in there. Because right now, they limit you to 2. I think 2's the most aircraft carriers I've ever seen in a battle. I don't think you have more than 2 on one side. But that would be cool if you had one side that had like 4 aircraft carriers that were Japanese, and the other side has a bunch of battleships. Like I'm sure the Arizona will get in there somehow.
Those, I'm gonna tell you, The number one thing I hate about World of Warships is those pesky torpedo planes. I don't like the fact that they can drop torpedoes 50 yards off your beam, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there is. You just got to have situational awareness. When I see them, I start turning into them right away. And the higher tiered battleships, I'll tell you right now, like not even the New Mexico, but when you get to the Colorado and the North Carolina, their anti-aircraft capability is just as good as any cruiser out there. So basically, you just turn into those torpedo bombers, and as soon as you do that, your anti-aircraft goes off, and it'll start forcing the enemy airplanes to disperse, and their torpedoes are going to go wide. What I don't like is when I all of a sudden see 15 torpedoes from a freaking Japanese destroyer just all of a sudden appear right next to you, and there is nothing you can do. You see 15 torpedoes coming. What is it? The which ship has that? The I don't know, the Isuzu Shimazaki or whatever. I just threw that out there. But those tier 9s and 10s, you're screwed. There is no way you can evade that. That just pops up. You might as well just stick your thumb up your ass and call it a night. It's over.
I don't like the way I don't like how you cannot see them until they're like, well, sometimes you can. I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes you can see them at like 10,000 yards. You can see them far away. But sometimes, even without smoke, they don't pop up until they're like 6 or 7K away from you. And they can close you so fast. I mean, God, you're like, oh, here we go. It's coming.
The problem right now is the fact that Japanese destroyers can launch their torpedoes from out of visibility and still hit you, and American destroyers have to get within visibility before they can launch. I think that is the biggest issue right now. Yeah, the Kitakami, that's it.
40 torpedoes.
Screw the Kitakami. That's the biggest issue right now. And it's really I guess the only reason you'd play a U.S. destroyer is the fact that if you play it like you should, you go after Japanese destroyers because your guns are just better than theirs. But aside from that, if you're going up against a Japanese destroyer and a U.S. destroyer, if you're inside 10 yards and you're playing against a Tier 8, Tier 9, or Tier 10, you just got to be ready because you're going to have 15 torpedoes coming at your ass at any moment.
Yeah. I don't know about 8 Mile. I think it's 8K, 10K. It's
about 8 to 11K depending on what you have. And U.S. destroyers max out at about 6 kilometers.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on Japanese. The long lance, though. I mean, really going into World War II, historically, Japan had the best torpedoes in the world. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, then we whooped their asses in World War II and went on to create the best military hardware in the world. So,
including the best freaking torpedo ever built, the AdCap Mark 48.
Yeah, there you go. You would know.
That thing's a beast.
So, anyhow, all right. Anyone have anything to close things out? I know we've kind of run over the hour we normally go. We've talked about music. We've talked it seems like ages ago we talked about Battlefield. That even made it in here. So I think we had a pretty productive chat tonight.
Counting Crows, August and everything after.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
We tell each other stories.
I love that band.
So, a couple things, right? So, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, our 8-bit stream.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Going to be a big deal. If you guys could come out and support that would be great. And if you can see fit to throw a couple bucks towards OSD, that would be awesome too. The other thing, can we say who's going to be on our next podcast?
I think there's no issue. Hey, anyone out there? Have you all seen what the hell? Linkin Park. Remember when Warfighter came out? That game we try to forget about.
We tried to love, but we
Medal of Honor Warfighter. Remember Castles of Glass? It was Castles of Glass, right?
Yeah.
So anyhow, our next podcast guest was actually in that video at the very end, and he's been in other stuff too. So Scott Levy will be coming on. He's a voice actor for a lot of the Battlefield games. He's been in movies. I mean, look him up on imdb.com. The guy looks like he'd probably kick your ass with like a chokehold or something, just like this. I mean,
Yeah, it should be a good interview, I think.
So anyhow, yeah, he's going to be on. We don't
Very
have a
interesting.
time. We don't have a time confirmed yet, but it will be in the near future. Should be a great show. And again, that's courtesy of OSD, and he's actually very involved with them. So we're looking forward to that. That should be a good time.
The other thing I'll toss out there is go to one of our sponsor stores, BattleBuddyApparel.com. If you guys want some pretty nice looking DRMB shirts. They've got some other gaming organizations too, but Battle Buddy does right by us. Just wanted to give Ray and those guys a shout out.
Yeah.
Classic Schwartz, you're in here a little late, man.
Well,
where you? The Schwartz was not with you tonight.
He is late, but he'll get, because I imagine we'll be streaming World of Warships here in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But we're doing good, man. Thanks for jumping in here.
Yeah, please check out Operation Supply Drop. Check out Battle Buddy Apparel. Great T-shirts, great cause for Operation Supply Drop. We appreciate you coming out tonight. We're very thankful that we didn't destroy the podcast without Chris Red Dragons being here or Lano being here.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be happy that things are still in one piece when they get back. So,
Let's toss this out too, because Shogun's in the chat. Shogun streams tomorrow from 1 o'clock to 6. So he'll be around if you guys want to hang out with him tomorrow afternoon on a Friday, drink a couple of cold ones and kick it with him.
What's he playing?
I think he's playing Hardline, I think.
Hardline,
But
yeah.
although he may be playing Battlefield 4 with the new patch out, he may play Battlefield 4.
Give Shogun some love, because he's probably one of the best players aside from Punisher. Well, Punisher's the best like old guy who's ever played games I've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shogun.
Despite my old age, I do have good reflexes.
Yes, he does. Give Shogun some love tomorrow. He's fun to watch completely.
Yep. Make sure you pester him.
Yeah, exactly. Spam the chat.
Yeah. So
also stream some Battlefield 4. Battlefield tomorrow from 10 to 4.
There you go.
There you go. So cool.
OSD love. Yep, absolutely. That being said,
DRMB on our Twitter, you guys will be able to keep up with what we got going on.
Punisher, you gonna stream some World of Warships after this?
Well, if you want to do it, you can. Either one of us.
I will defer to you. That is perfectly fine by me.
But we will all team up.
Yeah, and it will be on. Don't Revive Me, Bro. So, be sure to follow at Don't Revive Me, Bro. Follow. You can shoot us all a follow too. Find us. Hey, we appreciate you all for coming out tonight and sticking with us. And that will wrap things up.
All right, guys. Y'all be good.
See you later.
See you in a few.